Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. So in today's video, guys, if you guys have been playing the game since launch and maybe you've spent maybe $5 or $10 on the game, whether it's the battle pass or the monthly gem pass, you guys might be close to this rescue merit banner, where this is on the standard banner, and once you reach 300 pulls, you get to pick from one of the 10 characters. So I wanted to walk through the best characters to kind of choose from this, in my opinion on it, because the thing that I've noticed about this game is the duplicates of your characters are extremely overpowered. So the way that I like to kind of go about stuff like this in these types of games is I generally have 3 rules. The first rule is, who is the character that you want to play the most? Okay? Because it's a game. I think a lot of times we truly lose focus that we're playing these to have fun and not for it to be a job or for it to be min-maxed all the time. It's just like, oh, this character seems fun. I'm going to use this pull, on X character that I like. I don't care if they're on the bottom of a tier list. I don't care if everyone says they suck. I want to use them, right? So that's the very first rule. The second rule that I tend to look at is, which are the types of characters that have the least likelihood of being quote unquote power crept, right? And in most games like this, in the gacha space, damage dealers tend to always be the first ones to kind of get thrown to the wayside. They get power crept very, very fast. So I don't think we've seen that yet. We did have Haru, which is a great blue damage dealer, but she came out on launch, so it's not like she power crept anybody. And then Yuki came out, which is an AoE damage dealer, so she doesn't really compete with like Hugo or Luke. So right now we kind of have an even playing field, and the next kind of strikers or damage dealers that come out, I don't think they're really going to power creep anybody, maybe for the next 3 or 4 months. But after that, you're going to start seeing, characters go by the wayside, I think. So when it comes to the power creep stuff, that's where you're looking at like vanguards. I forget what this subtype is called. I forget what the subtypes, because psionic or maybe something like that. And then you have rangers. Hunters tend to be like your strikers. I think those are the ones that tend to get power crept. So your strikers, your hunters, rangers can fall into that category sometimes. But in this case, I don't know. So with that being said, the 2 characters that I don't believe to be outpaced or to be thrown by the wayside like anytime soon is Khalip and Orlia. Now, Orlia is a very interesting character in my opinion, because she does like debuffing and evolving and things like that. But both her and Khalip, in my opinion, have 2 very strong abilities within their overarching like card set, and that's retain. They both have really big retain advantages. So if we go to our agent collection here, you'll see on most of her cards, like her creation cards, they have retain on them and they kind of like level up, right? So you're not forced to use them right away. I think this is an extremely overpowered kind of mechanic in this game. And sometimes I feel like it goes by the wayside. The other nice thing is she's a bit of a change of pace from Mika, right? And I know Mika is like best in class right now, but I think a lot of us maybe sometimes get a little bit tired of using her, right? So you want to try and find different ways to still be able to complete high-level chaos runs without having to use Mika. And I think whenever you have a healer like Orlia, that also, amplifies your damage, and she helps you a little bit with not needing to use like high amounts of AP, because she has her retain cards, I think she ends up being a nice switch in for Mika. So it's more of the fun factor, but also at the same time, she's not a damage dealer, right? She's a damage amplification along with heal that also comes with retain. So she's one of the characters that I'm debating on pulling for whenever it comes to that banner. And then the other one is, of course, Khalip that I was mentioning as the two that I really don't think are going to go anywhere. Khalip is, I think, the safest pick in any kind of team, especially if you are starting out early. If you don't have the memory fragments or anything like that leveled up, or if you don't have, a couple duplications of an SSR damage dealer or a 5-star damage dealer, sorry, thinking old talk there. Khalip is the safest character to put in your team. Her shields are just ginormous. She also does really good damage herself, defense oriented. So she's a great pick. Extremely safe. And I also just like her whole mechanics aren't really going anywhere, like shield, tenacity reduction, and then just she plays on other people using high AP output cards. Like you don't even need to build anything around her. She just does her own thing while you're playing your other cards. Like she's the safest pick, right? So if I were to suggest two things, if you care about that stuff, right? Like I said, the most important thing with this whole selection is to have fun. So if you don't have one of the characters right now that you wanted to play since the launch of the game, this is your perfect opportunity to do it. What I am planning to do personally is I am either going to pick Luke or I'm going to pick Rin, right? I really like Rin and I want additional copies of Rin because I like Rin so much and I think she's a good character. Now, Luke is so much fun, like so much fun. And I want to get him to like manifest Ego 6 because he just seems like an absolute beast once everything's like all included in there. I want to get his partner as well, which like amplifies his total damage too. But that's the route I think I'm going to end up taking with these rescue counts. Now, I do have to tell you guys as well that I did end up getting picked as one of, the content creators, one of the certified, I don't even know what it is, content creators for Chaos Zero Nightmare. So I am going to be getting some free resources. That means I'm going to be able to pull more. I'm going to have more things to like level up and show you guys guides on. So me spending just only $10 right now on that battle pass, it's even though I won't be spending any more money, it's going to be an account that would be spending much more money. So you do have to take that with a grain of salt as well. But with that being said, all of these characters, I think, have a place. That's the great thing about this game is all the characters, I think, are a lot of fun. I don't think they're bad. I think they just have their use cases in certain areas, and then other areas, they're not so good. But outside of that, I think the other reason why I tend to lean more towards just choosing duplicates of characters that you use a lot is it costs a lot of resources to level up characters, especially getting them up to like level 60. Outside of units, promotion materials, energy, it takes a long time. So if you can just use this, what's it called, rescue merit, to just get an additional copy of a character, in my opinion, it just makes the most sense. It's not going to waste you a whole lot of time trying to build up another character. The character that you use a lot is already going to get stronger. And you can save your resources for maybe some new crazy overpowered character that comes out 3-4 months from now. So yeah, it's not really, I guess, much of a suggestion other than I think Khalip and Orlia are the two safest. But outside of that, like I said, all of these characters have their place. Like everyone knows Hugo's very good. Mei Lin, I think, is one of the characters that people mention in tier lists. Same thing with Veronica. I think a lot of people consider her the best like sub DPS support by far. I use her a good bit too. She's a lot of fun. So like all of these characters, I think, are quite good. Kayron is very interesting to me. I think he's a little bit more difficult to play, but that's kind of what interests me. Magna's a very cool like counterattacker, which I think is a bit underrated as well. Whenever I have counterattacks on my Khalip and stuff like that, it really overperforms. So someone completely built around counterattacks does seem fun. Renoa reminds me a lot of Luke, so I don't have a whole lot of desire to play her, considering I kind of feel like I get the feeling from Luke. And I am half tempted to pick Orlia just because of her seeming like a replacement for Mika. So this is more of just like a general topic conversation. This isn't my advice or anything. It's just how I end up approaching, banners like this where you get the guarantee. So I hope it was fun. It's not meant to be anything serious, just kind of my take on this. So that's all I got for you guys today. Appreciate you watching. Catch you on the next one. See ya.